Hey everybody, my name is Leah Carta, and if we have not met yet, all you need to know is that I am a Mary Kay Leffer. I love this company. Okay, so I'm really excited to do this training today for sales directors, and I'm even more excited because I have data to back it up. So let me back up a little bit. And I would just recommend for this, you're gonna wanna take notes. So if you have a place where you can sit down, I'm gonna try to make it as quick as possible. And then everything that I'm gonna show you is gonna be available on my website. It's leahcartaarea.com. You're gonna go to Director Tools, and then the password is Firefly, one word, Firefly. Okay, so let's start with this. The world is changing. The world is changing. So if you feel like booking has been challenging, or which I've been booking like crazy, so it has been challenging for me, but just the realization that the world is changing. Like my husband, we got rid of our 2 restaurants that we had, but even in his restaurant business, Uber Eats coming on the scene really changed things for us. A lot of people don't know that Uber Eats takes about 60% profit. And so you're going to start to see a lot of restaurants suffer because people are using these services. And so not that it's good, not that it's bad, but we have to first, before we go into this training, we have to acknowledge that in order to grow, change is necessary. Change is necessary. When I started my business 15 years ago, Etsy didn't even exist. You didn't have an Etsy. You couldn't sign up in a day and the next day start driving for Uber. You couldn't sell things on Poshmark. I mean, you could do like eBay, but even then people didn't know how to, or they weren't into it, and the interface was not user friendly, right? You had to be kind of like a tech whiz to figure it out. So as we have evolved as a society, we also have to evolve in Mary Kay. And so there's a lot of buzzwords going around. And I just want to make it clear, it does not matter what industry you're in. If your husband works in woodworking, you're going to see his industry have to change. If your husband works in environmental studies, that's going to have to, things just have to change. It's the evolution that we're going as a country. So it's not just singled out to our career in Mary Kay. And so because of that, if you read Forbes or listen to speeches, you're going to hear a lot of buzzwords, things like influencer, disruptor, collaboration, gig economy. These are all the sexy buzzwords that people are saying. And so I really started researching this. And one thing that I always ask myself as a national sales director is, if Mary Kay were here today, how would she lead our company? And, I believe that she would be an innovator. I don't think she would disrupt the system and flip everything over and change everything. I think she would innovate. And the definition of innovation is to take a core of something and to build upon it, And so that means that we acknowledge that the core that is Mary Kay. So when I think of the core, I think of our go give spirit. I think of not stealing people's customers, treating people with the golden rule. I think about the legacy of what a national sales director is. I even think about the NSD daughters too, and the legacy that they're carrying on from their mothers. I think about the tribe, the encouragement, the handwritten cards. I mean, all the things that set us apart. To me, that is the nucleus, that is the core of all that is Mary Kay. And then there's the how-to. There's, do you do a beauty experience or you do a whatever? And they're all awesome and great and fantastic. I want to talk about them today, but acknowledging that as time changes, those need to be tweaked a little bit. They have to be tweaked. And it's not that we're changing and flipping everything in Mary Kay. It's that we're building upon an already incredible foundation. And so I'm going to go over some new concepts, and I just need you to have open ears, an open mind, and an open heart. I presented this at a director meeting a couple days ago, and everyone loved it, but there was a few directors I could tell that change was hard for them. And I get that, but I need you to hear me when I say we will never mess with the core. We will never mess with the core, ever, ever, ever. So just listen with an open heart and head, and if it's something that you think you can apply, then that's awesome. The next thing that I want you to remember is that, with that being said, that Mary Kay was such a great innovator, I also want you to remember that everything great we have in this company, tools that we have, did you know that it was driven by the sales force? For example, did you know that the roll-up bag was created by a Salesforce member, the idea of it. The flip chart, the masking pods at Christmas, that was an idea of a national sales director that was submitted. The mental bath by Tammy Craig, the IPA sheet. I mean, I think about all the tools that I use and still use. The beauty experience, Tina France brought that to us and it took us up the next level. Bedtime facials. I mean, just start thinking about all the things created by you. And so one of the things that coming into the new year that I really realized is that we exercise our body. I know we exercise our what we eat, our nutrition. I know that as leaders in Mary Kay, we know all these things and we do all these things. But one thing I realized is that we're not exercising our creativity. And so when I came into the new year, I was determined to exercise that muscle. And so I started researching, and there was a couple things I adapted that I want to share with you. And then no worries, we're going to get into the go-get. I'm very excited about it. But I want to give you a foundation, okay, of where this kind of came from. So I did a couple things. One is I started honoring the Sabbath. So I'm someone that I love Mary Kay. I have a very harmonious, balanced schedule. I'm great at turning it off. But I love doing Mary Kay all the time. Like I really do. I hold parties. The other day I was getting ready to do the director meeting. I was booking a party right before. Like that's who I am and that's who I'll always be. I love being with the people like that. But I would always take a day off, but I wouldn't really take it off. I would answer Voxer messages. I would whatever. And we were at church and the pastor really convicted me in his sermon. And he talked about keeping the Sabbath holy. And I had always said in my brain, like, okay, that just means, take a day off and go to church. And he talked about, no, it means you completely remove yourself from your vocation one day a week. And I was like, oh, and my husband kind of squeezed my hand and I was like, stop squeezing my hand. But it convicted me because I didn't. And so I started doing this probably about 3 months ago. And you guys, the clarity, the creativity, because I'm having to find things to do on my day off because I'm someone that likes to keep busy. But I cannot believe the blessings that have come from honoring that day. And so I want to challenge you, even if you don't share the same belief system that I do, which is totally fine, but just taking a day off, a full day every week where your Voxer is off, your Facebook is off, and you just rest. You play, you have fun. So some of the things that I'm doing to fill my time is I'm starting to make sourdough bread, which is really comical because I'm also in the process of losing 50 pounds. But I've always wanted to do that. And so I've started to do that. And I'm reading more fiction books because fiction increases your creativity. I'm taking art classes with my son and I'm not artistic at all. But what's happening is that when I'm using those muscles, it's making me more creative. And so I'm so blessed. I get to be part of a mastermind every week with a couple of national sales directors. And our main mission is how to grow Mary Kay. Because here's the deal, you guys, 15 years ago, the noise was not loud. If you wanted a side gig or something, you heard about it at a Mary Kay party. But now if you want a side gig, you go to Google and you can own an Etsy shop and Uber and all these things. And so not that those aren't awesome and not that Mary Kay can't compete with that, because we absolutely can. It's how we are doing it. And that is what has to change. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. So I was on this mastermind session and my really, really good friend, you guys, my really good friend, Julia Burnett, I know you all love her. She shared this idea that one of her sales directors, Amber Nichols, I want to make sure I give her credit because Amber, you are responsible for this. Yes, Amber Nichols. So Amber, I love you. I will do anything for you because you changed my world. Okay, so she shared this idea from Amber Nichols, and it was and she basically was talking about how we're not utilizing the besties coupons. Like, what a gift that the company gives us that we are not using them to our full potential. Heidi Gelser, my friend, national sales director, she found out that in the month of December, the average unit in Mary Kay recruited 2.8 people. 2.8 people. Now, that's a fact. And she went on to explain that that's not our truth. The fact is we're recruiting 2.8 people. Mary Kay is not broken. The system is not broken. So whatever lie you might have told yourself, it's not. It's that we're not meeting today's 2020 woman with our marketing plan. And so we've been brainstorming this. And so Julia talked about how we're not utilizing this, and Amber Nichols came up with this. So there's these little printables, which again, these are on my website, for Bring Your Besties. And then she got these adorable gold envelopes off of Amazon. And so when you're new in her unit, you would get these. And so I was like, gosh, that's so brilliant. You're giving them something tangible. Like, that makes sense. And so then I started brainstorming about the new consultant experience. So very much like you guys, I have absolutely had times where I've revamped my welcome packet. I mean, I remember my welcome packet 15 years ago being almost 60 pages, and that worked. That absolutely worked. And now it down to being 3 pages, and I felt like it still wasn't working. And so I started talking with some of my national girlfriends, and Ari Hathaway brought up a brilliant concept, and she just said, take our Power Start, for example, and I really want you to ask yourself this question. In the last 50 new consultants that you've added to your unit, how many of them have completed a Power Start? I know for me, it wasn't a lot. For my national girlfriends, it wasn't a lot. Like, people just were not doing the Power Start. And this is where yesterday I had a director go, but I did a Power Start. And I said, yes, and you're a sales director. You're 1 in 50. And so there will be people, but it won't be the majority. And so we have to start catering to the majority, because the faster they can win, the longer they will stay, and the quicker they will raise up to Red Jacket and other things. And so Ari talked about simplifying that. So that is what led to the creation of the Go Kit. And so I'm going to walk you through what this is, how I'm using it, and the results that I've had. I'll just tell you the results up front. So this is for new consultants. Okay, so a new consultant signs in my unit. I do her inventory talk like normal, 20 to 30 minutes. And then I say, okay, my next Go Kit session is on Saturday at my house. Or I happen to have a meeting in Tyler, Texas. And so I just was like, at the meeting, I'll have your Go Kit for you. So this girl already has a new team member, so she brought her to that. I said, we're going to have your Go Kit session. Bring your date book, your cell phone charger, and a pen. So then what I do is I have these printed out. Now I want to pause here, you guys, because we have to start thinking in terms of today's woman. And I say this with love. You guys, if you are handing out stuff that has cartoon Darcy on it, we can't. I love Darcy, but Darcy needs to go on your historical shelf. I have things on my historical shelf, and we honor them. I have Star Consultant Barbie over there. I honor her, but she is not going to move today's woman. So we have to keep that in mind. So your graphics have to be on point. It needs to look professional. So when I think of today's woman, she wants boss babe, she wants sleek, she wants classy. And so I want to encourage you guys to make this classy. So like for me, I have a binding machine that's really inexpensive because I was tired of paying out through the nose for binding things. And so I bind mine because it looks like a little book and it looks professional. So when I walked in, I handed each of them the Go Kit. And let me tell you about the experience. Okay. So what I say is and I'm just going to role play with y'all. Jordan, I'm super excited for you starting your business. And so our first task right now is to go through your Go Kit. And so side note, if you guys are having meetings, you can have another director doing this with new consultants in the other room. What's beautiful about this is you can even empower Red Jackets to do it with new people. You can even empower people to do it with their new team members. It is that simple and flawless. Okay, so this is the front of it, the new consultant Go Kit. Okay, the next page. So I say, okay, go ahead and flip open the first page. And I mean, look at how cute. There's a little LaCroix because everyone loves LaCroix. So this is your go list, Jordan. And so what I'm going to have you do is you're going to write, think of like a wedding list. So you guys, this is absolutely what we already do. Okay, so I'm going to have you write your wedding list, right? Everyone that you know with skin that, and don't think, will they buy Mary Kay? Just think like, who would I love to give a facial to, and write their name down. So one of the women, she got a little stuck, and I said, well, open up your Facebook. Let's start there. And so I was coaching her. What about your hair person? And I was giving her ideas. So I'm sitting with her. Okay. So while they're doing that, you guys, I'm working on my phone. I happen to have 2 other sales directors there with me just to kind of observe because I wanted them to give me some feedback. And one of the sales directors at one point, she had the cha-ching from Venmo happen. And she goes, oh, I just got a reorder. And that was so awesome for the new consultants to see that. I was booking parties on my phone and going, oh my gosh, I just have a confirmation for Saturday. And so I'm creating this environment of winning, and it was exciting. So, and also you guys, if you want to hit pause, this is on my website. So if you want to follow along, you can go there. It's leahcartaarea.com. Go to Director Tools. Password is Firefly. One word. Okay. All right. So then once they're done, once they were done, I said, okay, so Jordan, now go through and circle 6 of your favorite people. Circle 6 of your favorite people, and then we'll come back to that. So then we hit pause. Okay. So I say, okay, flip to the next page. Okay, Jordan, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up your social. I want to make sure that you are absolutely immersed in all things Mary Kay. So the first thing is to download the Voxer app. And you guys, as a side note, I really want to encourage us to start backing away from Voxer. I don't think we're there yet, but there's so much more power in a phone conversation or a coffee date. And I really believe that today's woman, she wants that. She wants connection. She wants to feel a part of something bigger than herself. And I just, like when I think of the sales directors in my national area, Not one. Not one has ever stood from a podium or taught a class and said, you guys, on September 3rd, when Leah left me this Voxer message, it was always from when we were sitting, on the floor of my playroom and our kids were playing and Leah and I talked about this, that changed my life. And so anything significant never happened over Voxer. It just never did. And so let's get back to connecting, because that is what today's woman wants. And that is also what makes Mary Kay different. So ask yourself that, you guys. Ask yourself, what makes Mary Kay different and how do I shine a light on that? Okay. So, and then I also wanted to say to you guys, one thing I want to challenge all of you to do is that this Go Kit is awesome, but there are going to be some of you that, just like Julia handing me the Besties coupon, it's going to spark creativity. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, if we added this onto the Go Kit, or if we change this. And so we're going to innovate the Go Kit, which I'm so excited about, because you guys, here's what I realized. Everyone has a seat at my table. Like, I don't care if you are, and I love and respect Inner Circle Nationals. I respect trip directors, but I believe that right now innovation is necessary, because I do believe that we will take back the #1 spot in the United States for skincare. I do believe that we will create a movement. I do believe that our recruiting will be at an all-time high. I am so passionate about that. If you cannot see, I believe it and I know it, but it is going to take collaboration and innovation. And so it does not matter if you are a brand new director. If you have an idea, you speak up. It does not matter if you're a trip director that was 5 years ago, $1 million director that was 10 years ago. We need to put our brains together. So another thing that I do every morning is I have a notebook. And I used to wake up and write, the 6 most important things. And I still do that. I get to it. But immediately upon rising, I write down the 6 ways I'm going to grow Mary Kay. 6 ideas. And you guys, some days it's like the Go Kit. And then other days it's like I draw little hearts and say, I'm going to tell people I love it. And then sometimes it's really silly and stupid. Like, I messaged Brittany the other day. I was like, this has nothing to do with growing Mary Kay, but like, what if they went into the Mary Kay vault? Because I believe that there is one. And they took a bunch of Mary Kay's dresses and they sent them all to like the Inner Circle Nationals and gave them permission to like repurpose them. And then at seminar, all the Inner Circles came out in Mary Kay gowns. And I mean, that has nothing to do with growing Mary Kay, but I thought it was a cool idea. So my point is that if you just exercise that muscle every day, it's almost like you're doing burpees every day or you're jogging every day. If you're writing down 6 ideas every day, we're going to hack this. We're going to figure out how to take our company to the next level. And I'm very confident in that. Okay. So the second part says, set up your Mary Kay website. And then I want her to follow the hashtag. A lot of people don't know that you can follow hashtags. And so follow My MK Life, and then that will be the dominant thing that comes up in our feed. The other thing that I did, and please don't like read anything into this, I literally just went to my Instagram and I was like, who do I love seeing that posts a lot about Mary Kay that I follow? So like, you can change this if you want. You can handwrite in some of your offspring directors. But I gave them people to follow. And so I say, pull up your Instagram, and I had Jordan sit there and follow all these people. And these are people that I know in my heart are Mary Kay lifers, and they are dedicated to our company, and they are dedicated to perpetuating the Mary Kay spirit and all that is Mary Kay. And they post a balanced post of their life, but also Mary Kay products and all that Mary Kay brings, because I want them following the right people. You guys, if we don't give them the people to follow, they're going to find it themselves. I know this because this was created because I had a consultant who sought out, and by the time I had her welcome appointment, she had spent $400 on CDs from someone who's trying to teach Mary Kay people that has no business teaching Mary Kay people. And that like was a gut punch. And so we have to know that they are doing that. And so I want to give them the people to follow that I feel safe with. Okay. All right. And then get added to our unit or area Facebook page would be the other thing. Okay. Now here's where I need you to have an open mind, because some of you're not going to like this, but I need you to hear me out and hear the thought process, okay? All right. I've tried many things. I've tried the 24x24 challenge. I have tried 30 faces in 30 days. I have tried the item selling challenge. All great, but not the best. And I didn't crack the code, but I think I've cracked the code. 10 Miracle Set customers, okay? 10 Miracle Set customers. So what I say, Jordan, the first thing that we're going to track in your business is for you to have your first 10 Miracle Set customers. Because you guys, when we do an item challenge, like, let's be real, if that person buys an eyeliner, she's not bound to that eyeliner the rest of her life. There's just no way. She's going to go buy one from Sephora. But if I can get her on the Miracle Set, we all know how awesome that Miracle Set is. And so she's going to be bound to that Miracle Set or the repair line or whatever, a set. I also know that if I can get a consultant up front to have 10 skincare customers, number one, that's $550 in her pocket. Number two, her reorder business, I'm going to be really good about teaching her follow-up, because even if she decides to not pursue Mary Kay full-time or just does it occasionally, this is going to take her $225 annual order to now a $550 annual order. And when you multiply that by 5 consultants, 10 consultants, that grows. So I want you to honestly ask yourself, like, in the last 50 consultants that you've added to your unit, how many of them have completed a Power Start in their first month? There's probably going to be a couple, but not many. And the reason why is that in society, we need things fast. I mean, one of the reasons, and I think this is so brilliant that Mary Kay is doing this, when Nathan talked from stage about the instant pay, micro pay, I think he called it. It's so smart. It's so smart because you get micro pay when you do Etsy. You get micro pay when you do Uber Eats. And so I love that Mary Kay is doing something to meet with that gig economy. And so we have to be thinking like that as sales directors. And so people want fast results. And so when I look at 10, my brain is already going, well, I bet my mom will buy a set. And then I'll facial my cousin, and I have my coworker who I think would love it. And so I'm already thinking about who those people would be. Now, I know that there are some of you that are horrified right now, and it's okay. It's okay. Here's what I will tell you is, one, maybe give it a shot. You don't have to. No one has to do that. I mean, this is just, I'm just giving you my ideas, okay? But give it a shot. But I also want you to think, what would it look like if you had a unit where everyone had a solid 10 skincare customers? And so for the rock stars that finish this in a week, then you say, okay, our next goal is to get you 10 more. And then think about that. Within 3 months, she has 30 skincare customers. And then we can do events to put them on color and events to get them on other products. Like, that's where we are creative and what we do best. But we've got to build the base. We've got to build the foundation for them and help them see that. And so, so I talk about that, and then I say to her, and I write this down on my paper. I say, you know, Jordan, what are you going to do with your $550? And I want to ask that question because I want to be anchored to what is important to her. So she might, and if she says debt, I'm going to say, okay, so how will it feel if you're $550 less in debt? You know, and then if she says like, oh my gosh, like, I don't even know. I was like, you have to come up with something. We got to like race for this. And she says, well, I would love to go to Disneyland or something. Then I'm going to anchor that and say, oh my gosh, like, your kids, you have to go to Etsy and get custom ears for everybody too. And I'm going to anchor that. And I'm going to write that down so that I can advocate for her dreams when she can't. And so when she starts to slow down, that's where I would send her an Etsy link with custom ears on them and say, oh my gosh, you and your daughter would be adorable in this. Sales directors are the biggest visionaries. And we have to, I think sometimes when we have new consultants, we forget that they don't have the toolbox that we have. And so we have to advocate, just like for a small child, like Reagan over the summer, my 2-year-old, she ended up getting E. coli. It was the scariest thing I've ever gone through. I had to rush her to the ER. She had almost 108-degree fever. Like, that's where people start having seizures, babies. I mean, limp, wouldn't respond. I mean, just terrifying. Reagan could not communicate to me what was wrong. She didn't, I mean, she would grab her stomach and I could kind of tell something, but she could not communicate. And so I, as her mother, had to advocate for her. I had to be her voice when she didn't have a voice. And we have to remember as sales directors that when people come into Mary Kay, they don't have the positive thinking. They don't have the toolbox. I mean, think about, you guys, how much people pay for conferences, and we get this for free in Mary Kay. Like, it amazes me. And so don't put the expectation on a new consultant that she can rise up to her imagination and her dreams. Sometimes you have to be that person for her until she's strong enough to do it herself. That wasn't in my notes. Okay, so the next page is practice makes progress. I know it, and also I print on shiny paper. You guys, I really make this nice. So high gloss paper, and you guys, you could just assemble 50 of these and have them in your office. And you could do this, like I was telling my offspring, Stephanie Coker, she's got a rockin' meeting. And so I said, Steph, have one of the directors each week take the new consultants into the other room and do this. It took me about an hour and 15 minutes to go through it with them. And here's where it gets exciting. So then what I say is I have this script. This is a booking script right here. And for some reason, the emojis printed weird. So just insert emojis in your notes. But I took this script. It's saved in my notes on my phone. And so I said, okay, Jordan, Karen, now is the exciting part. We're going to get some activity on your date book. So I'm going to forward you this text message. And then and this is where you're saving time. So don't have them type it out. And then you're going to flip back to your go list. And I want you to start texting these people. Okay. So the other woman looked at me horrified and she was like, we're going to do this now. And I said, oh yeah, Karen, we're going to do this now. And she's like, well, this is really scary. And I said, I know, that's why I'm doing this scary with you. That was powerful. So this is where I think this is so important to do together. And you guys, honestly, if we're adding 2.8 consultants to our unit a month, we have time to set up an hour to do this. And then I think once you get over 10, we're going to empower our consultants to do this with their new team members. I could absolutely see a red jacket walking her team member through this 100%. Okay, so, but that was really cool. We have a connector moment because she looked at me with hope because she's like, okay, you're doing this with me. And she's like, okay, here goes nothing. So they start sending out the text. You guys, this is what ended up happening. Jordan ended. So we ended at like 7:15. And so I told them, I said, you still have about an hour more of phone time. So before you go in your house, like just keep working on your phone and then let me know your results. Jordan ended with 9 parties. So I also helped her turn the facial into a party, 9 parties. Okay. And we booked she had 1 bestie coupon left. So we booked the rest of those shares and I handed her last gold one. So I also have the besties coupons, what is this word? Paper clipped to the front. And so Jordan only had 1 left. And so I handed it to her and like, I didn't let go. And she held it. I said, Jordan, we only have 1 left. And I was like, the community that we're building in our unit. So this person needs to be like, you can't just give this to anyone. And she's like, oh, I know exactly who I'm going to give it to. And then even giving Karen, she's like, oh, cool. Okay, I have 3, only 3. And I was like, only 3. You only have 3. So we have to be super careful about who we let have this. And you guys, like, let's start doing that. Let's start being like higher standards who we bring in. I'm not saying that she needs to like, live in a beautiful house or have a beautiful family or a beautiful job. I just want people who are hungry and that have integrity. Let's start bringing in those people. Okay. So be a little selective. I think that is okay. Okay, so that was Jordan's results. Karen, the one who was so scared and nervous, I was so proud of her. She ended up with 4 parties and 2 facials. And I was working as they were booking. So a couple cool things happened. Tracy, that was with me, booked another party. Callie, who was with me, I think she booked a couple parties. And so we would verbalize that. And then one of the girls said, oh, my aunt just said yes, but she lives in Florida. And we're in Texas. And I said, oh, that's awesome. Okay, I'm going to send you a link on Amazon for these little pods. And we're going to mail it to her. You're going to number them. And she's like, we can do that. And I was like, absolutely, we can do that. And we can even turn it into a Facebook party. It's super easy. And so I was there navigating her and basically overcoming any, not even an objection, but just a hesitation of, oh, can I do this? Yes, super easy. Here's how we do it. You guys, we have got to fit our business into a microwave society. Okay, so like we can't crock pot our Mary Kay business. I do believe we crock pot layering, like we need to be layering more for recruiting. But when it comes to new consultants, we need microwave results. We need them. I mean, for Karen to go from nothing to having those parties on her books, super excited. I also had someone with concerns like, Leah, well, you're promoting facials. You better believe I am. And I would not 10 years ago, but here's why. Women today, their confidence is lower. And so for some women, they are terrified. You guys, if I was not in Mary Kay and I did not have the self-growth that I've gained from Mary Kay, there's no way you would get me to do a party. I'm highly introverted. I would be like, I would rather go drive for Uber Eats. Like God's honest truth, that would turn me off. But if you said, hey, get your best friend together and just do a practice facial with her. And then we'll work on getting some referrals from her for friends. And I'm going to ease you into this. So you have to keep that in mind. You have to. You might not like it, but it's the reality right now anyway. I think we're going to have like a revolt against social media. And I'll have a new Go Kit for that. So there you go. Okay. So, and then like one of the things at the bottom of the script is it says, as a thank you, I'd love to gift you with one of our coveted swag bags. They're super fun. And so I just have a sample. You guys, we gotta up our swag bags too. I was talking with one of my directors about this. Things need to look cute. I have like little literature, I'm backwards. I have little literature that I made. So it just talks about, and then an alternative is to give them any cosmetic item at 50% off if they don't want to do the bags. But we gotta not do those little crinkly bags with like a Butterfinger and a eyeshadow sample in it. Like we gotta like think about, I've never done this before, but like I've seen people like they'll go to Sephora and they'll get a gift with purchase and it's all cute. And And I believe we can do it without spending a ton of money. So like the bags that I get, they're really cute. I don't have any near me. Oh, I do. Hold on. I'll show you. So they're very high quality canvas bags. So like this one, and they're thick. It says blending is my cardio, wing it, eyeliner, everything. And they're $1 each. So I think, you know, let's cut expenses in other areas and start like being okay with spending $1 for people to do a facial with us. I think that's really important, but that's just my opinion. Okay, so then the next page, so she's booking. And so again, while she's booking, I'm working because I want to utilize that hour. And how awesome for you guys, like if you're doing this twice a week, you're getting 2 hours of booking time. You would have already done that anyway. All right, so then the next page is it kind of explains what her first 10 look like. So I write when her besties, I'm so backwards, this side. When her besties expires, I write that down. And then I have a picture of that little besties coupon that I showed y'all. And again, this is all on my website, and Amber Nichols created those. They're super cute. And the link to where the gold envelopes is on there too. And so I have in here, I don't know if you can see it. It's in, oh, you can't really see it. Kind of, there's little gray writing. And so at 3, it says $100 bonus. At 5, it says eligible to go on Target for car. 10, eligible to become a sales director. So I just highlight the career path. You guys, we can't vomit on them. Like I haven't even talked about the Star Consultant program yet. And I'm not going to. She's going to learn that at the meeting down the road. Right now, I need her making money and I need her buy-in because I want her to stay, okay? And I need her to win. And so we really have to think about what is necessary for her to know right now. She does not need to know how to organize her profile cards right now. She doesn't. And I know some of you will hate hearing that, but you have to remember what our competition is. Our competition is Etsy. It's not other skincare companies. It's Etsy, it's Uber Eats, it's Poshmark, it's those things, okay? So we have to think about how easy we're making this, okay? And so I should kind of give her a hint. Also, we need to change our verbiage. My opinion is we need to stop saying pearls of sharing. I think it's dated, in my opinion. I haven't thought of a better name yet, so if you think of one, let me know. But I've stopped giving out pearls because you guys, Mary Kay, as of now, is giving them a $100 bonus at 3 team members. Why are we giving them pearls? I would much rather have $100 cash than a set of fake pearls. You would too, right? So let's start saying, oh my gosh, you could get your $100 cash by Friday, $100 bonus. What would you do with that? And let's start showcasing that. And then also, you guys remember that $100 is a big deal to a lot of people. So that was something I had to remind myself of because, you know, when you're holding parties at the rate that we are holding parties, we get a little used to it. So like, for example, I can remember being a brand new consultant at my first $800 party, and I was doing cartwheels across our apartment, like $400 in 2 hours. Are you kidding me right now? Like that was almost what I made in a week at my job. Like that was insane. That was insane to me. But I think over the years, as we get used to that, it's not insane to us anymore. And so like, I look at $100 and I'm like, yeah, that's what I spend at, you know, Walmart in 30 seconds or whatever. But for a lot of people, $100 is a really big deal. It is because they're not used to that extra money. So you have to remember that and create value in that. And then the last page, thank you to Kristen Sharp for reminding me I needed this in there. It's called a Go Share. And see what I mean by like upping your graphics? Like this is where we can't, Darcy is dated. So, I mean, I don't even know how to say it. An acai bowl. I eat them. I don't know how to say it, but it's like, you know, people take pictures of them and put them on their Instagram. So I put it on here. But this is called Go Share. And I want to share with you some verbiage that I've changed. So it says, time to share with your girls. Let's do 6. Use the script below once you've booked a facial or beauty experience with them. And it says, this is where we're wording things different. Yay, I'm so excited to get together on Thursday. And I want to point out something. Use this script below once you've booked with them a facial or beauty experience. You guys, we have to have that layering. We have to have them have tried the product first. Mary Kay has always taught us that way. But I think we skip that step sometimes. And there's always going to be the exception, you guys. I didn't have a facial. I recruited myself. So I didn't go to a party. So there's always going to be the exception. But the majority, they need to have that layering because they need to see what an awesome product it is. Okay, so yay, I'm so excited to get together on Thursday. This once they book them. One more quick question. I also need to practice sharing the Mary Kay story with my sales director. Would it be okay if after our appointment we FaceTimed her for about 15 to 20 minutes so I can hear how she presents it and take notes? I'm not above bribery. How does a 50% off mascara sound? Okay, so I want you to notice one phrase I said. I also need to practice sharing the Mary Kay story. Not the marketing plan, not how to sell Mary Kay, not the business plan, the Mary Kay story. You guys, I'm so grateful to the group of sales directors who are doing the book club that's coming up. If you don't know what the book club is, you can ask someone what the book club is. But how smart are they? Like, we have got to broadcast the Mary Kay story. It is the most moving, riveting, life-changing. You guys, we would not be here without the Mary Kay story. So let's stop sharing the marketing plan because no one cares about a diamond ring. People want tiny houses right now, okay? I know you'll care about it once you have one, but they don't care. So we need to stop doing Mrs. Cab. Mrs. Cab is 10 years ago. We have to start sharing the stories about the, people like me who my grandparents live with me. They're in their 90s and they live with me because of my Mary Kay story. The fact that I'm able to homeschool my children and have an executive income because of the Mary Kay story and the Mary Kay dream, you guys. It's not because of the recognition or the car or the tax advantages. It is the stories. It is the stories. And so we're sharing the Mary Kay story. Women in 2020, they want this. They want a tribe. Talk about the tribe. Talk about the friendships. Talk about the things that you've learned as far as self-growth goes. People are paying thousands of dollars for self-growth right now. We have that for free in Mary Kay. Talk about how it's changed you as a parent. And meet her on her level. If you're talking to a 20-year-old and she doesn't have kids, we're not talking about parenting. We might be talking about future children if that's a goal for her. I remember that was a huge motivator for me is I saw the kids of national sales directors and I wanted that. I wanted that for my family. I wanted that confidence that they had. Talk about how we get to do something that changes people's confidence. Like, think about that. When you sell skincare, there's that quote, when a woman changes her hair, when a woman is about to change her hair, she's about to change her life. I think that about skin. When a woman changes her skin, she's about to change her life, because how much of our confidence is linked to having great skin. And can we talk about some of the retiring nationals? I'm like, there's your proof that our skincare is awesome. Like, really, really. Like, have you all seen Kathy Halou and Debbie Moore? For Pete's sake, I'm going to keep using the product. I want to look like that, okay? But truly, so it is no longer the Mrs. Cab. Like, we've got to tell people the story. And this is where we're going to keep innovating what that looks like. And so, one of the things that I'm doing at my parties is when everyone has the charcoal mask on, I say, you guys, I'm really excited to share with you what is the Mary Kay story. But first I want to hear from you. Like, what does today's woman want in 2020? Like, when you talk to your friends, what do y'all want in life right now? And I give them tickets for telling me. And then I play off of that. So if she says, I want more freedom in my life, I said, well, let me tell you about the freedom that Mary Kay Ash has given me and my family. And I give her examples. And you guys, there are parties that I leave where they never even know about a pink Cadillac. They never even know about the trip to China. They never even know about the extra money in the bank, because it's not what they care about right now. So this is where growth is required and change is necessary. So we all need to step up to the plate. We all need to be trying new things and coming up with new things, because we are the greatest innovators, you guys. We are the greatest innovators ever, and working together, #better together, is an amazing thing. Okay, so I think I covered that's the end of the Go Kits. That's the end of it. And so it took an hour and 14 minutes. One of my sales directors, Leandra, her consultant, after she did the Go Kit with her, because Leandra was one of my first people to try it, her consultant had 18 parties booked within an hour and 15 minutes. 18 parties booked. You have a new consultant who has 18 parties booked. She's going to be around. All right. And again, you guys, as time goes on, you can empower your team members to do this. But I hope that this blesses you. I hope you can use it. If you have any ideas or ways to make it better, just comment below the video. I'd love to hear them. Everyone has a seat at my table. So if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. All right, you guys, have a great day.